I'm here with Denise Stephens and Carrie Bishop at the My Public Services event where we've been talking about Social Innovation Camp. And Denise, Enabled by Design, won an award at the camp. It's been terrific, I think, in helping move your project forward about better design of products for people with disabilities. But we were reflecting on what it actually takes to move from that initial surge of an idea to making something happen. What's it like personally to try and do something like that?
That's a big question. I would say that I'm very passionate about the project, so being able to take part in Social Innovation Camp really did make a difference, because I had a vague idea of what I wanted to do, but it's changing that kernel of an idea into something much bigger, like a prototype, something that you can demonstrate to people. It gave me a voice, which was really important, and it gave me a really good sort of starting base, I suppose. I was awarded some prize money, which allowed us to start up Enabled by Design, but also we had access to Social Innovation Camps networks. So I got to meet lots of people who had already set up their own communities. So I got to speak to people, find out about their experiences and their learning, and learn from them. So that's been really, really helpful.
In terms of the time it takes, you were saying that you had to give up your day job because of illness. But how much time have you found that it's been taking you to move the project forward?
I wouldn't lie in terms of setting up a community is really quite a challenge, and I would say that you don't really leave the community, well, it never leaves your mind. Like, you're constantly thinking about it and sort of checking up on how the website's doing, or thinking about sort of links. It might be a case that I'm watching television and suddenly I get a little sort of spark of an idea of, wouldn't it be really good if we did, I don't know, a customising session for people's crutches or something like that. So I suppose I was speaking to Carrie, and we were sort of saying that one of the challenges after Social Innovation Camp is having enough time to be able to commit to your project, to keep it going, to keep the momentum going and make it sustainable. So I would say, I can't really put my finger on a number, but it's kind of very much an ongoing thing and something that's a very big part of my life.
And Carrie, we were reflecting on great ideas that haven't necessarily moved forward very fast because people just haven't got the time. And you were saying that in order to go to the conferences, talk to investors and so on, you need somebody at least part-time on it?
Yeah, I would say at least part-time for at least 6 months is probably what I imagine. And looking at Denise and how much time she spent on it, notwithstanding the fact that it's always on her mind, I reckon you spend about, I don't know, at least part-time, and it's been way longer than 6 months for Enabled by Design. So I think having that amount of time to devote to it, and especially during the day as well, because lots of things happen, your conferences, events, meetings with funders and all that kind of stuff, and that happens in 9 to 5 hours still. You maybe an evening if you're lucky, but it's, even if you had blissfully free weekends to work on a project, you still can't really get lots of stuff done in that time because other people aren't available then. So
I think Social Innovation Camp kind of changed the landscape and people's perceptions of how individuals, small groups can come up with ideas that do change the world, even in small ways. But the camp is finished now. What sort of processes do we perhaps need in future?
The things that the camp were brilliant at were generating like loads of buzz, enthusiasm, a kind of a sense of purpose, and something that was very energetic, which I think was kind of lacking at the time, and just really introduced a whole group of people to a real feeling of, yes, something's happening here. So there's that energy that needs to be somehow harnessed and brought to the fore. Also bringing together like-minded people, not necessarily with the same skills. I mean, we had geeks and hackers, we had people with ideas, we had people who are very savvy business and marketing people, So a whole range of backgrounds and experiences, some from public services, some from, finance and corporate world. So complete polar opposites, but all sharing a sense of we want to do something to improve stuff for other people, something bigger than themselves. So bringing together those people with that kind of same attitude is really important, as well as the energy. And then something to do with skill matching that's about understanding that you need different types of skills to make an idea successful, and that finding a way of putting people together that can help each other to all work towards one idea happening. And I think, again, Social Innovation Camp did that really, really well, and that's something that's going to be missing, I think, going forward.
So we need some ways to continue energising those processes.
Yeah, and I mean, one-off events are a brilliant way to do that. A weekend, you blast something, it's a very energetic way of working, but it doesn't have to be like that. It can also be something much more elongated as a process and, a little bit more drawn out. It could be a web thing, it could be a bunch of people who meet on a regular basis, it could be anything. So,
yeah, I was thinking about the idea of an open innovation exchange following, in fact, the Crowdsourced Council event that you helped organise, where we had small developer suppliers saying how difficult it was to get their ideas and products in front of council people saying how difficult it was to find out what was going on, community people, users and so forth not getting a look in. And I was thinking, well, how do you continue to cook that up?
yeah.
Is that what's needed?
Yeah, I think something along those lines is definitely needed. And I mean, there is a temptation to say we need to put public authorities in front of this stuff as well. We need to show councils and government departments and health services and police services what's happening out there. But I don't think they're necessarily needed in order for that kind of social innovation to happen. I don't think we need government bodies to sanction that activity for it to still be happening nonetheless. So if they wanted to come along for the ride, then of course, that's brilliant news, but it's not essential.
So it can continue to bypass the bureaucracies?
Yes, absolutely. More of that.